Hello and welcome back. This video we're going to go over examples of inserting a figure, a table, and an equation. So for the tables, we kind of went through that in the creating components and inserting components section, but we'll do a review of it here. For inserting a figure, a good example of that would be a practice overview document. So let's create one of those. Now in the practice overview document, we're going to have the insert figure below section. So I'm going to delete that text in here, and I'm going to go under insert, and you will have image and you'll have figure. And a figure is what's going to give us our 508 sections, or our 508 abilities. So we definitely want to use figure in any way we can. So here it's going to come in with a title and a description and then a browse. So what we want to do is click on this area, and depending on if you've already uploaded it or if you haven't. So if I already have the image in Quark, I can use from platform. If I have the image I want to use on my computer, I have to do local file system. From there, we will go and select it and then go ahead and pull it in here. Now you're going to come with a prompt to then check the document in, or check the image in. So you're going to switch, you're going to navigate to your standard collection, and then you can choose the National Practice Supporting Documents workflow. That way it doesn't have to go to QAT, and you can just route it to no one and leave it as final or draft, whichever you prefer. It doesn't really matter for these kind of images. And then let's go ahead and hit save. So now we have a figure imported into our document. And if I refresh our preview, we should see this image. Here it is. So now just adding the figure, we didn't get any of the 508 portion, so we want to add a description. And this description is what is read to the 508 user. So to the user with the disability, whatever you put in the description section will be read to them. So you can add these figures, wherever you need to. Let's say you wanted to add a chart into the standard. You could have the chart as a picture and then upload it and then have a description about what the picture is referencing. Now while we're in this document, we can make a table. So I can go up here to insert table. I can choose how many columns, how many rows. I can add a header row and then a caption and a description. Okay, and let's just see how they affect the output. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll refresh here. So the this is actually a bad area because of where the image is. So let's add just a few spaces in here just so you can see the separation real quick. Because since we're doing a practice overview document, right, the image is not going to let us put it together, right? So the caption is kind of the title above the table, and then the description is right below it. So you could be like figure 1, table of stuff. And then there's your figure, and then we could also do the center paragraph, add text, and so remember I only did the center paragraph for one, so only one of these cells will be centered, and then the rest of them are here. And here you can adjust the size of columns. But it'll always try and be full width. So if I add like a lot of text here and update, it's going to readjust the table accordingly. And this column doesn't have any, and we can manipulate it from there. So that was figures, and this is tables, and now for equations. So if let me go back, let me check out the standard here. Okay. Now for an equation, let's just go to operation and maintenance section. We're going to edit that. Now if it's a simple equation, such as I pulled this standard up, let me pull it over. So standard 605. This is the equation. So I can copy this with Control C, and then I can Control V and bring it right in. And then let me accept all the changes. And then it looked like it was italics, so I'll make it italics. And then when I go to refresh my preview here, we will have our formula. Now, let's say it's a very complex formula. Let's say there's like a big division line in there. So not something that really can be just copy and pasted from a single line. So if it's a multi-line formula, I would author them in Word or whichever authoring tool you're using to make these formulas. I would then use the Windows snipping tool to convert this formula into a picture. So once I have it as a picture, I can save it. And so I'm going to add it to our desktop here and do figure for CPS. All right. And then now that I have my formula as a picture, I can go in and go to Insert. I can go to Figure. I can do Browse. And again, right, we're going to do Local File System. We're going to do Figure for CPS. Hit OK. It's again going to ask you to check it in. So I will switch my workflow, draft it to final, hit no one. And then now we have the image here. And it would be formatted correctly here, so it's very big there. We can readjust the size here if we want to make it smaller. We also want to add a description, right? Because and we want to add a title. So we want to do so for 508 user, this is a formula. Can't spell. Yeah. Anyways, this is a formula for doing X, Y, Z. And you also want to have a title. You can add a title then, figure 1 formula for doing this and that. And again, we can adjust the size here to make it how big we need. And I'll refresh. And I made it a little small, but you'll see now that on this figure, it just says formula for doing this and that, right? So this is for the PDF. Well, so both of them are for the PDF, right? This is for the person that can actually read it. And then this one's going to be for the 508 user that's getting the screen reader read to them. So this is like the alt text of the image, and then this is what is written here for the user to see. And the reason we have extra spaces is because we have an extra space in the document. All right, so that is the inserting of a figure, a table, and an equation. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.